freaking panel at a convention not that long ago, and this got brought up like twice. But the truth is, in the last 20 years, and all the thousands of games I've pulled out and popped in a console, you know how many times I've had bitrot mess up a game? Like none. Not a single time. Not once. Ever. Have I ever had that happen, pulling a game off the shelf? Sure, I've had games that I bought and didn't test, and I go to play them, they're too scratched to play, and they need to be resurfaced, or maybe they've been resurfaced too many times and they don't work, or there's a crack in the disc or something like that. That happens. Some games just get busted, okay? But having like the data layer just deteriorate, I've never personally experienced that. Now, I have seen it. I have seen it multiple times at conventions and things. And anytime I buy an expensive game, I check it for bitrot. All you do is you take the game out and you hold it up to a bright light. That's all you do. You look at it. And if the game has bitrot, you will see little pinholes on the disc. It looks like someone took a sewing needle and just punched little itty bitty holes. I've seen it so bad that it looks like someone shot a shotgun into the disc before. And I'm not saying some discs weren't made cheaply and just maybe have a higher chance of falling apart. Sega CD games are known for getting bitrot, and that is kind of true. But I will tell you 100% that 99% of the cases I've seen with discs that had bitrot were because the games were stored improperly. You can tell from looking at the manual and the artwork that's usually in the box. It has some water damage or humidity damage, or it's sun bleached or something like that. Very rarely you're going to see like a mint game with a disc that has bitrot. People are storing them in attics and in basements and out in storage sheds or behind the freaking hot water heater, you know, in the garage or whatever. And that's going to do damage to the disc. That's going to cause those layers that are essentially glued together to separate or move or whatever. And it causes damage to that data. But the main culprit is how you store the games on the shelf. Now, I've spoken to two different people in my life whose job it is to organize archives and libraries. And they have both told me the same thing. Do not store your media horizontally. Do not lay it flat and stack them on top of each other like this. Keep them vertical. The reason why is when they lay flat, the way they sit on the spindle, gravity pulls down on them over time. Yes, it's very subtle, but that adds up over 20 years. And what it does is it literally pulls apart the layers. I did not believe this was true, but recently I've been looking at a lot of games that were kind of in poor condition and laying on their side. And if you look at the edge of the disc, you can almost see where the layers are starting to separate. They're fanning apart. As the game sits in its case, it is supported in the middle but not on the outside. Apparently, gravity pulls the discs apart. And by storing them vertically, it helps ameliorate those issues. If you keep your games vertical and in a cool, climate-controlled space, I don't really think you're going to have any issues with them, at least not in your lifetime. And when you go buy a game on a disc, for the love of God, hold it up to the light and check that it doesn't have those pinholes. Because it is a real thing and you do see it. And I don't think it's happening to every disc. And I don't think it's as rampant as people say. I hear a lot of resellers talking about seeing it. And the way I've seen resellers sell their games, they just stack hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of copies on top of each other. Because vertical space is precious. You have to have a shelf instead of pile them in a box or a tote or in the corner room. Treat your stuff well and it'll treat you well. The video game bubble is going to burst. People will immediately stop caring about all this stuff. The prices will all crash. And the future generations have no interest in it. Now I'm going to come right out and say that I don't think the video game bubble is going to ever fully burst. But I do think it might correct itself. There are too many memories tied up in video games. It's a very specific collectible. Unlike baseball cards, unlike comic books, things like that. These are stories, experiences that you interacted with. You have built a memory with the game through your efforts. And that's precious. That's more precious than a lot of other collectibles, like coins. Coins are valuable, they have a numismatic value, and they're cool and they're rare. Like, did you do anything with the coin? Did you spend 60 hours rubbing that coin or something? No. You spent 60 hours playing that video game, and it was the best summer of your life, and you got your first kiss, and your mom took you down to the mall to buy it, and like, you have all these memories associated with it. That has so much value. People that played these games are always going to want these games, and they're not going to want to let them go. Now, I have collected a lot of things in my life, and I have been very involved with a lot of different collecting communities. Comic books, Magic the Gathering cards, old cars, wristwatches, stamps, retro guitars, freaking baseball cards. Did I already say that? And they always follow the same cycle. A small group of enthusiasts are very passionate about the hobby for like years and years and years and years, till something causes it to gain a little bit of popularity, and then a whole bunch of people jump on the bandwagon. In case of video games, people collected video games for decades, then YouTube came out, people saw how cool it was, and a bunch of people jumped on the bandwagon. Those people rush in, they just start grabbing up everything they can find associated with the hobby, because they don't really know what's valuable and what's not, what's worth spending their money and their time on, and what's truly precious. They just grab. Then investors and flippers and resellers see that, and they decide there's a good way to make a profit with that, so they jump in and they start doing the same thing. Buy. You know, like, we're going to make money out of this. They're just snatching everything up, and the whole market just kind of goes upwards. Eventually, prices get so high that it'll drive the investors away, which we're seeing right now. How many store owners and flippers have you seen that have moved away a little bit from video games and started doing Pokemon cards? The next big thing. Most of them, some of them, I know definitely a lot of them. And then the casual bandwagon collectors they'll get tired of it. They'll get disenfranchised with the whole rat race of the situation. They'll start dumping their stuff. It'll be hard to dump it on the resellers because, well, video games, they're just not making any money anymore. Pokemon cards are the new thing. But they won't dump it all. They'll keep the things that mean the most to them, sentimental ones. I've seen a lot of game collectors recently online. They're talking about making that perfect collection. A collection that only means something, where every game has a purpose. They're dumping the other stuff. And the stuff they dump on the market, well, it's not really going to get picked up, because the people that really, truly love game collecting, well, they've already got it. They already had it before. They just don't want it. So it just sits around. So you end up in a situation like I've seen every other collectible have, where 90% of the stuff on the market, it really doesn't have much of a value. Just a few bucks, maybe up to $10, $15, $20. But the really sought after, prized items, they don't come down. They just stay at the top. I think this is where video games are gonna go. People aren't gonna stop collecting them, but not everybody's gonna be collecting everything. You're gonna have tons and tons of $1, $3, $5, $7, $25 games. Then there's gonna be like a big gap, and you're gonna have a bunch of $200, $500, $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 games. Think of all those old sports cards from the 90s that are just worth nothing, comic books that are worth nothing, old guitars that are worth nothing. But does that mean there still aren't $1 million comic books, or $1 million guitars, or sports cards that are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? No, those definitely exist. People have just learned what is actually valuable, what really matters. To tell you the truth, I'm kind of looking forward to that with video games. But I don't think it's going to be as bad as those other collectibles. Like I said, people have a lot of emotions and memories tied up in these games, even bad ones. But all it takes is like some passionate person to love a video game and tell other people about it, even if that game's not very good, to re-spark an interest in it. And of course, you can still go play that game. That's why I don't think the bubble will ever fully burst. And that's a good thing. As I mentioned earlier, YouTube cares nothing about views, really, or subscribers. They care if you like the video. And there's no way to let them know that you liked it other than participating. And here on this screen, you get to see the people that participate the most. These are my channel members and Patreon supporters. Channel membership and Patreon support is a great way to show the content creators who you really care about how much you care about them. For as little as 99 cents a month, they get early access to my videos, they get member-exclusive videos, and they get to come hang out in my Discord and chat with each other and hang out with me and send messages to me. I'm in there all the time. I could not do this without them. They really help sort of steady out those big fluctuations in the algorithm that you hear so many content creators complaining. I really appreciate each and every one of them. If you'd like to join us, there's a link to that in the description down below. I hope to see you there, and I hope to catch you in the next video.